Hey guys, I'm Haley with Holistic in Houston. I'm a certified yoga and meditation instructor. And today I'm going to be guiding you through a short morning yoga flow that's designed for beginners. That being said, you don't have to be a beginner to do this, and you also don't have to do it in the morning. You can do it anytime. I won't tell anybody. If you have some blocks, that can be really handy. If not, that's okay. Otherwise, all you need is a yoga mat. So without further ado, let's get started. Go ahead and make your way to a seat, whatever is comfortable for you. I recommend cross-legged, and you can allow your eyes to become heavy, or maybe they come completely closed. And just take a moment here now to notice your breath without changing it just yet. Can you feel the rise and fall of your belly and chest as you breathe? Now start to make your inhales a little bit bigger, taking in more air. Sigh it out as you exhale. 2 more of those. Big inhale, fill all the way to the top of your head. Sigh it out, exhale. Last one, inhale. Fill up all the way to the top of your head. Maybe sip a little extra air at the top. And sigh it out, let it go. Close your mouth now, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, filling up all the way. Exhale. As you continue to breathe, you can let your eyes be heavy or gently blink them open. Bring your hands to your knees. Start to arch through your back, setting the crown of your head and your tailbone behind you. And then as you exhale, everything curls in, tucking your chin, tucking your pubic bone. Inhale, chest comes forward, nice and proud. Everything curls in as you exhale. So we're taking some seated cat-cows here, warming up our spine. Keep this moving with your breath. Maybe you start to introduce some organic movement here. You can rock side to side, roll out your shoulders, roll out your neck, just moving with the breath. Any other organic movement that feels good, or just keep doing those seated cats and cows. We're just warming up our spine this morning. One more breath cycle with cat-cows or anything else that feels nice for your back, for your spine, for your neck. And once you're done, send your arms out and up. Take a big inhale. Maybe your gaze goes up. And as you exhale, fold over to your left. Your left hand comes down. Your right arm reaches up and over. Breathe, anchor down through your right hip and then reach up and over from there, allowing your breath to really expand on this exposed rib cage. Maybe your gaze crawls up, maybe your chest turns to the ceiling. Make your way back to center as you inhale, exhale, fold over to the right, right hand comes down, left arm reaches up and over. Good, now anchor down through your left hip. Reach up and over from there. Maybe your gaze goes up, your chest turns up to the ceiling. Make your way back up to center with an inhale, palms touch and come down through heart center. As you exhale, gently roll over your knees or swing your legs around. You're going to meet me in a tabletop. Once you've made your way to a tabletop, shoulders over wrists, hips stack over knees. Lift your right knee out directly from your hip. It's not about how high it goes, just as long as you lift it up. Shift a little extra weight to the right hand so you square your shoulders off. Flex or point through your foot. Keep that 90-degree bend in the knee and just feel that outer hip starting to activate. Now pick a direction, do some hip circles. You might hear some hip pops. I'm hitting this stool behind me. Core is engaged. Switch directions. That second direction always feels not as natural. That's okay. And coming back up, we're kind of like a dog on a fire hydrant here. Kick your leg out to the side, plant your foot. And maybe you stay here. Maybe you start to rock forward and back. The range of motion here is up to you. So you can do a big range of motion or just a couple of inches. We're just saying hello to that inner thigh, inner hip. Maybe your toes flex up to the ceiling if that feels nice. Good. Now crawl your hands to your legs. Bring that foot down if you flex your toes up. Shoulders stack over hips. Arms circle out and up. Take a big inhale. Fold to the right as you exhale. Your right hand goes down your leg. Left arm reaches up and over. Squeeze your left glute. That's going to send your left hip forward. Help you feel a little more of a stretch here on your left side body. Again, twist your chest up to the ceiling. Gaze goes up. One more inhale. And your top arm circles forward and down as you exhale, back to tabletop. Right knee comes under your hips, shake it out. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Lift your left knee directly out from the hip. Again, shift weight to that left hand. The tendency is to shift to the opposite hand. Core is engaged, flex through the foot. It's not about how high it is. I just want the knee out from the hip and a 90-degree bend, and then take those hip circles. Pick a direction. Breathing and switch directions. Core is engaged. Shift more weight to your left hand. That hip comes back out to that 90-degree bend. Kick your leg out to the side. Plant your foot down. Start to shift forward and back. Take a range of motion that feels good for your body this morning. Maybe you flex your toes up. We're just getting into the inner thigh, the groin a little bit. And your toes come down if they flexed up. Crawl your hands to your feet. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Send your arms out and up. Take a big inhale. And fold over to the left as you exhale. Your left hand goes down your leg. Right arm reaches up and over. Flex your right glute. So you send that right hip forward. You're going to feel more of a stretch on the side body that way. Maybe twist your chest up to the ceiling. Maybe your gaze goes up. Take a big inhale, and then your top arm circles forward and down, both hands to the mat as you exhale. Bring your left knee under your hip, shake it out. One more stretch here on our mat. Send your left arm up to the ceiling, open your chest, gaze up, inhale, and send your left arm underneath your right. Your left ear, left cheek comes to the mat. Thread the needle. Hips stay stacked over your knees. Your left arm is long. Right hand can be planted on the mat. Maybe you wrap it around to the opposite hip if that feels good. And we're just keeping our left ear, left cheek heavy on the mat, letting gravity do the work here. Focusing on the stretch in the back of the left shoulder. Bring your right hand under your right shoulder, press into the right hand to lift up. Left arm to the ceiling, open chest, inhale. Swim that arm forward and down, back to tabletop as you exhale. Right arm reaches for the ceiling, gaze up, inhale. And thread the needle on the right as you exhale. So your right hand's going underneath your left, long on the mat. Right ear, right cheek comes down, so it's nice and heavy. Hips stay stacked over your knees. Your left hand can stay planted. Maybe you wrap it around to the opposite hip if that feels good. Just an option. Breathe into the back of your right shoulder blade. And left hand gently comes under your left shoulder. Press into your left hand to lift that right arm to the ceiling. Open chest, gaze up, inhale. Swim that arm forward and down as you exhale. Shake it out, maybe rock side to side. Spread your hands, fingers out nice and wide. Press into the base knuckles of your hands. That's the place where your fingers and your palms meet. And then tuck your toes, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. In your down dog, you want to think about sending your tailbone up to the ceiling. Your head, neck, and shoulders are heavy. You're pressing into those base knuckles, spreading out through your fingers, sending your heels down as far as they'll go. But it's okay if you're up on your tippy toes. I just want you to think about energetically sending those heels down. You might want to bend one knee, bend the other, walk your dog out. It might feel good on the back of the legs. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Send your chest a little closer to your thighs. Find some stillness here. Then look to the top of your mat. Take an inhale. Take tiny, tiny steps. Bring your feet to your hands. Forward fold as you exhale. Now all 10 toes are facing forward. Your feet are about hip width, maybe a little bit wider. Bend your knees. Let your head, neck, and shoulders hang heavy. Option to grab opposite elbows for a rag doll. Maybe you shake your head yes and no. Maybe you sway side to side. Really let the crown of your head be heavy here. So release all the tension in your neck. We're decompressing our spine. And release your arms. Start to roll up to standing really slowly. Take 1 or 2 breath cycles to get there. Your head is the last thing to lift. Good. Once you make your way to standing, roll your shoulders up towards your ears, back and down. Give it a couple more times if it feels good. Good. Now, at the top of your mat, your feet are underneath your hips or your toes can touch whatever feels more comfortable. Send your arms out and up. Take a big inhale, big stretch. Palms touch, hinge at the hips, forward fold as you exhale. Let your head be heavy. Take a flat back as you inhale. Stay here for a few breaths. So your fingertips are on the mat. If they're not touching, then you just bend your knees as much as you need to get your fingertips on the mat. You want to think about your back like a tabletop. So nice long back. Maybe squeeze your shoulder blades together to help your upper back muscles be engaged. Take one more inhale. And fold forward as you exhale, release. Good. Do that one more time. Take that flat back. Crown of the head extends forward as you inhale. Then step your left foot back and drop your knee as you exhale. Rise up for a low lunge with your inhale. Your hands can be by your ears, on your front thigh, at heart center. We're stacking our shoulders over our hips, and our hips are heavy toward the mat. So rather than your hip being directly over your knee, you want to think about dropping your hips to the mat. Your front knee is directly over your ankle. Now press into that front ankle. Hands can be wherever you want to have them. If you have your hands by your ears, maybe flip your palms to face one another. Squeeze your belly button towards your spine. Really lock in that lower abdomen. Take a big inhale. Crown of the head extends. Then fold over to the right as you exhale. So your right fingertips will come to the side of your mat. If you have blocks with you, you can always put a block or any other object really to help you bring the mat a little closer to you. Hips continue to reach forward and you're reaching up and over to the right. Left side body is opening up here. Maybe you squeeze your left glute. That'll just create more of a stretch there. One more inhale. Exhale. Make your way back to center with an inhale. Your hands frame your front foot as you exhale. Lift up your back knee with your inhale, then step forward, forward fold, release everything, exhale. Flat back, inhale, right foot steps back, knee comes down as you exhale. Shoulders over hips, low lunge with your inhale. Good. Pick a good spot for your hands here. Now, in your low lunge, try to keep your back toes tucked if you can, just to stretch out through your feet. Energetically squeeze your thighs together so you're really keeping your inner thighs locked in and your pelvic floor is nice and engaged. Press all 5 toes down in that front foot and keep breathing here. Take one more inhale, crown of the head extends nice and tall, and then fold over to the left as you exhale. So your left fingertips are going to find the mat, or maybe you grab a block on any height or any other object, a book, a little stool. Right arm reaches up and over. So again, try to twist your chest up to the ceiling. Let your gaze go up. And then you want to think about on your side body that you're bending over. We're reaching up and over like there's a beach ball or a tire there. So we're not crunching into that oblique. We're keeping the obliques engaged. This bottom hand is nice and light. Take one more inhale. Maybe you fold a little deeper as you exhale. Reach back up through center as you inhale. Hands frame your front foot as you exhale. Lift up your back knee with your inhale, then step forward, forward fold. Exhale. Flat back, inhale. Plant your hands, step back to a high plank as you exhale. So your hands are under your shoulders. You're up on your back toes. Always an option to drop to your knees at any time. Wherever you're at in your high plank or modified plank, think about locking in your thighs, your glutes, squeezing belly button to spine, crown of the head extends forward. Push the mat away from you and puff up in between your shoulders. Now everyone shift forward 1 or 2 inches over your wrist, option to drop to your knees. Lower down all the way to your belly, really keeping your elbows near your ribs. Slide your forearms forward, and then maybe just start by lifting the chest off the mat. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, and you're really using your upper back here. Maybe your forearms float. Baby cobra. Take an inhale. Lower down as you exhale. You can do that again, or you can take a cobra by sliding your hands a little closer to your ribs, pressing into your hands, straightening through your arms, and pressing into the tops of the feet. Crown of the head extends nice and tall. From your baby cobra or your cobra, take a big inhale. Then roll over your knees or your toes, press into your hands, downward facing dog, hips go up and back. Take a big inhale. Sigh it out as you exhale. Look forward, inhale. Step or walk forward, forward fold, exhale. Roll up to standing, arms circle out and up, inhale. Drop your hands through heart center as you exhale. Take a few moments here, maybe your eyes shut down. I want you to just tune into the sensations of your body. Notice your breath, notice your heartbeat, and just take a moment to be here. All right, we will move through that sequence, one breath per movement. You go at your own pace. Let's take a clarifying inhale. You can drop your hands. Sigh it out, exhale. Arms circle out and up, inhale. Hinge at the hips, forward fold, exhale. Flat back, inhale. Left foot steps back, knee comes down, exhale. Rise up for low lunge, shoulders over hips, inhale. Side bend to the right, exhale. Back up through center, inhale. Hands frame your front foot, exhale. Lift up your back knee, inhale. Step forward, forward fold, exhale. Flat back, inhale. Right foot steps back, knee comes down, exhale. Low lunge, rise up, inhale. Side bend to the left, exhale. Rise back up through center, inhale. Hands frame your front foot, exhale. Lift up your back knee, inhale. Step forward, forward fold, exhale. Flat back, inhale. Plant your hands, step back to your high plank as you exhale. Shift forward an inch or two with your inhale. Option to drop your knees, lower down halfway or all the way as you exhale. Cobra or up dog, back bend of choice with your inhale. Roll over your knees or your toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog as you exhale. Take a big inhale. Sigh it out. From your down dog, make your way to a seat. You can drop your knees or you can hop your feet through your hands if you like. Meet me in a seat. You're going to send your right leg out at about 45 degrees straight and bring your left foot in towards your pelvic floor. You might need to shift around, move around some blessings back here to ground down through your sits bones. Your spine is nice and long. Send your arms out and up, inhale. Then fold over to the right as you exhale. Right forearm comes inside of your leg. Left arm reaches up and over. It's not about how far you're reaching. I want you to think more up and over rather than crunching down into that right oblique. Anchor down through your left hip and then maybe spin your chest up to the ceiling, reaching up and over. Make your way back to center. Take an inhale and then drop your left hand behind your hip as you exhale. On your next inhale, you're going to roll onto your front shin and your front foot for a supported wild thing. Your hips are going to go up to the ceiling, chest opens, gaze goes behind you maybe. And then come out of it just like you came into it. Your top arm circles forward and down. And we can shake it out. Same thing on the other side. Right foot comes in towards your pelvic floor. Left leg goes out at about 45 degrees. Again, shift around, any flesh moving out of the way so you can ground your sits bones down. Send your arms out and up. Take an inhale and fold to the left as you exhale. Left forearm comes inside of your leg. Right arm reaches up and over. Think about twisting your chest up to the ceiling, letting your gaze maybe go up if that feels nice. Reaching up and over and anchoring down through your right hip. Reaching from there, really feeling the stretch in your right side body. Make your way up to center, inhale, and your right hand plants behind your hip, left arm to the ceiling as you exhale. Circle your arm forward and up, and then come onto that front shin, your front foot, hips go up, let your chest fall behind you, maybe your gaze goes up, goes back, and come out of it just like you came into it. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees open into a butterfly. You can flap your butterfly wings if you want, maybe shift side to side, take an inhale, and then fold over your feet as you exhale. And as you do that, maybe your hands grab your ankles, pressing into your knees just to help you go down a little more. You can rock side to side here if that feels good. Just kind of getting into the glutes, a little bit of the low back. Let this feel nice. And come out of it nice and slow. We're going to make our way onto our back. Now, you can lay straight back if you want a little extra core work because, why not? Then you can move with me, shoulders over your hips, legs are long, crown of the head extends tall. You're gonna squeeze belly button to spine. Your arms can go forward or by your ears for more of a challenge. Let's do it. Start to lower down for a count of 10, 9, 8, belly button squeezes in, 6, 5, 4, my voice is getting shaky, 3, 2, and 1. Once you're laying on your mat, bring your right knee in towards your chest and then cross it over all the way to the left. Maybe you shimmy that left hip underneath you a little bit, supine twist. Right shoulder anchors to the mat. Maybe your gaze falls to the right. Slow down your breathing here. Bring your right knee back in towards your chest. Shift your hips back to center if you need to. Left knee comes back in towards your chest. Right leg goes long and your left knee crosses all the way over to the right. Supine twist. Anchor your left shoulder to the mat. Maybe you shimmy that right hip underneath you. Maybe your gaze falls to the left. Letting gravity do the work here. Make your way back to center. Both knees come in towards your chest. Shift your hips back to center if you need to. Knees come in, maybe rock side to side. Do some knee circles. Take any final movements that you need this morning to allow your body to feel good, allow your practice to feel complete. And whenever you're ready, let your legs splay out, let your body be heavy. Take a big inhale. Sigh it out as you exhale. Shavasana. Feel free to stay here as long as you like. And pause this video. If you're ready to move and start your day, start by wiggling your fingers and your toes. Deepen your breath, maybe rock your head side to side. And then allow your knees to come in towards your chest one by one, curling up into a little ball. And then maybe you fall over to one side, knees come in towards your chest, rest your head on your arm like a pillow, curling into a fetal pose. It might feel nice to stay here for a little bit longer too, or maybe you press into the mat, gently making your way up to a seat. Let your eyes remain heavy, landing whichever direction you land. And if you made your way to a seat, circle sweep your arms out and up, gather up all this beautiful energy you just created on your mat. Palms touch at the top and drop down through heart center. It's always an honor to guide you in your practice. I hope that you have a fantastic day. Namaste.